Let's try automating documents using record templates in Zoho Creator. First is we select our application and click Edit. Now we will create our record templates. Go to Settings. Under Personalization, click on Record Templates. Create template. You can select blank or from a template, but for this example, we will select blank. And then based on the form, we select the form and then enter a template name. And in here, you can drag and drop these elements. Let's say a paragraph. And let's add some fields. You can insert fields through this Insert Fields button. Let's say product name. And then the added time. Let's just keep it simple for this example. And then click Close. So now we have created our record template. Now to automate this, we will create a workflow. So this workflow will automate sending of the record templates whenever a record is created. So let's create a workflow. Created. Run this record when a record is created, and then on successful form submit, and then send customer order record. So basically this means that whenever a record is created inside our customer order form, this workflow will be triggered only after the form is submitted successfully. So now click on Workflow, Create Workflow, and now we add our action. For this example, we will be using the deluge script. I'll just copy paste the code here. And I'll explain to you what does this code means. So this code means we will be sending an email. So we use this template or syntax, which is the send mail, where the from and to is defined, which means this email will be sent from this email and then will be sent to this particular email. And then for the subject, I've set it to new order, and the content of the email is this text. And also for our record template, we have added the attachments. And observe that we use this syntax to indicate that this is a record template, and then we set it as PDF so that this record template will be converted as a PDF when we send it into an email. So once we're done, we would just click on Save and then close this. And now to save this workflow, we click on Done. So now to test this, let's create a record through our portal. Let's create a record, let's say a cell phone. Purchase date is yesterday. And then ticket. And then add. And now we have received an email with the subject new order and a PDF file that contains our record template. So you can see the product name and the purchase date has been included. And that's how we automate documents using record templates in Zoho Creator. Let's try creating a multi-level approval workflow in Zoho Creator. So first is we will go to our application, click on Edit, and then Workflows, go to Approvals tab, and then Create Workflow. Now choose the form that you prefer, and then enter the name of the workflow. Let's say Order Form Approval. And then here, to run this process, you can choose always run this process or run this process on a condition. You can select a criteria that you would like this form to meet first before this workflow will be triggered. And then once you're okay with that, just click on Create Work. But for this example, we will just click on Always and then click Create Workflow. Now here, click on Add New Approver. You can select the type of the approver. It can either be user, a role, or a field. For this example, we will select role. And for the role that will be approving this is first manager. You can also update the approval label and the denial label. And then click Save Approver. Now, under the level 1 approver manager, we have here an action executed without any condition. Since our initial stage of creating this workflow, we did not select a condition, then this will be executed without condition. But you can always update that by clicking this edit button. But we will just leave it at that. And as you can see here, an action which is sending an email to approver submitter is done after the manager selects approve. And you can also update this by clicking this, and you can see the from and to recipients of this email and also the content of the email that will be sent. You can also update that and click update. The same as with the reject option. So if the manager rejects it, then an action will be executed, which is sending an email to the approver submitter. Now, if you want this approval process to be multi-level, you can just add more approver by clicking on Add New Approver and then selecting the type, select role. This time, I want it to be CEO, and then save approver. And just like the level 1, an action will be executed, particularly the sending of email, if the CEO approves or rejects the particular data submitted. And you can also add more action by clicking here on this plus button. You can select a notification, integration, data access, or deluge script. And if you want to edit or delete it, you can just click on the pencil icon to edit and then the trash icon to delete it. Then once you're done setting all this level, just click on done. And now you have created an approval process, which is a multi-level approval process. Now let's see an example. Let's go to a portal, an example portal that we have created. This is a customer portal, and we are posing as a customer named Nika Nick. So Nika Nick will add a new order. Let's say product name is biscuits. Purchase date. And once done, Nika Nick clicks on add. Now under approvals, Nika Nick can see the pending tasks, which includes the new order she has added, which is the biscuits. Now for our first level of approval, which is done by the manager, this is how the manager can see the data that will be approved. So we are now posing as a manager. We can click on approvals and then click on pending tasks. And as you can see here, we have a task, or we have a request to be reviewed. So let's click on that. And we have here options. We can click on approve or reject. For now, we will click on approve. Then add some comments, click approve. And now the level 2 comes. Level 2 is for the CEO. Now we go to the view of the CEO. We are now posing as Mary, the CEO, and then we can click on the pending tasks. And now we can also review this particular request. And the same as the manager, we can also approve or reject it. Let's try approving it. Add some comments and approve. Now let's go back to the customer who has added this product. Refresh this. And now the pending task is empty. And let's view the completed tasks. As you can see, the request made has been reviewed and has been approved by the manager and the CEO. And that's how multi-level approval workflows in Zoho Creator works. Let's try customizing our user permissions and role-based access in Zoho Creator. Now select your application and then click Edit. Inside the application, click Settings. And under Permissions, click on User Permissions. And then here, you can see we have our permissions. To add more permissions, click on Add Permission. Let's say Customer Permission. And then select the module or the permission for each module that you want to provide to this particular permission. And then once you're done, click Save. And to edit a permission, just click on the permission and then update the desired access and then click on Update once done. Now for our role-based access, click on roles. And as you can see here, we have a role hierarchy, which signifies the data access, or it only means that the one who is at the top, he will be, or he or she will be the one who can access the data from the role at the bottom. So to add role, just click on add role and then enter a name, let's say editor. Select which role it will report to, let's say manager, and then once done, click save. And that's how you manage your user permissions and role-based access in your Zoho Creator application. Let's try embedding our Zoho Creator app into our website. First is we will go under Manage, click on Operations, and then click Publish, and let's publish a component. Select an application and select the component that you wish to embed into your website. Let's say our customer order form, and then click on Publish. Now here you have two options. You can either access the form through a permalink, or you can also embed the form into a different platform, or let's say a website. So let's copy the embed code and then let's go to our website. Let's embed the code and paste it here. Next, and then insert. Now let's just make some few adjustments to the size. And as you can see, our form is visible. Let's just make more adjustment. And that's it. Let's try creating our customer portal in Zoho Creator. Now to create our portal, we will go to the deploy section and then click on portal. Now in here, we can create our portal by creating or by clicking create new and then click on the agree of terms and use, and then you will be selecting the application that you want to be included in your portal. Now, in your default domain, you can only customize the subdomain of the URL. But if you have an upgraded account in Zoho Creator, you can also create your own custom domain. But for now, we will just leave it at that. And then you can also set the portal type. If you want everyone to access this portal, you can set it to public. And then for the notification, you can notify your admin or users whenever a customer has created an account inside the portal. And then you can select which email the notification will be sent to. Now for the default permission, this is set inside the selected application. So you will have to set this up first if you don't have any permissions yet. But since we already have it, we will just select this permission. Now for the idle session timeout, you can decide whether you want the user to be automatically signed out after how many hours or minutes of inactivity. But we'll just set it to never so that the user can still be logged in without using the portal. And down here, you can allow portal users to change their email address once they have created their account. And for the security, you can activate the multi-factor authentication for portal users, and then also add the logo for your portal. And then once you're done, you can just click on create new. And now we've created our portal, and then as you can see here, we have the link. You can copy this one and then share it to your customers, and they can access it through their web browsers. And in here, they will have to create their account if they do not have one yet, and they can also sign in if they already have. And that's it.